April of 1970, Mike and Maya Allsop moved to their new home out on Lake Quantrill. It was a quarter of a mile in one direction to Mike's mom's home, and in the other direction, a quarter of a mile, was one of Mike's brothers, and a quarter of a mile from him was another brother. Lake Quantrill has always been a family affair. Maya was pregnant and teaching second and third graders at Lowell Elementary School. Pregnancy and children can be quite entertaining and quite educational. She used that special time to teach her students about physiology, for instance. When asked about how eating a hamburger with mustard and pickles on it would affect the baby, she used it to teach them about the gastric system in the body. Her students really listened, and they learned. One of them even brought in a stethoscope from his dad so they could hear the baby's heartbeat. Apropos, isn't it? Even prior to birth, in the womb, Brett was totally involved in life, using every opportunity for growth and learning. October the 26th, 1970, turned out to be the big day. It was one of the happiest days ever in the lives of Mike and Maya Allsop. It was the day they welcomed their first child, a healthy, 6-pound, bubbly baby boy. They named him Brett Morris Allsop, Morris being his mother's family name. As an infant, Brett fit in the palm of his grandfather's hand. That was probably the last time he was still. As with everything in life, Brett was ahead of the curve. He walked early, cut his teeth early, and he became quite the water baby since the lake was right at his doorstep. At the age of 2, he started skiing on the slopes of some of the greatest mountains in the world. Again, water, only in a different form, played a huge role in his life. Mike and Maya remember Brett on a chairlift at Sun Valley as a youngster. He had an incredible sweet tooth. He would carefully unzip the pouch in his jacket, and it would be full of candy. "Do you want some?" he would say to his seatmate. Little did Mike and Maya know that Brett took all of his Christmas money and spent it on candy for the chairlift. Whether it was water skiing, snow skiing, sailing, or swimming, if there was water in any form anywhere around, there you would find Brett. When he was 3, his little brother Ryan arrived. Life on the lake became even more fun with a little brother to hang with. Little boys and their dogs, water, boats, inner tubes, skis. You get the picture. They had so much fun with friends like Eric Kreider, known affectionately as Kreiderman, who practically lived with them. Their cousins were just up the beach, and all summer long they were out on the lake in that little Boston whaler doing what boys do. Oh yes, the boys had the typical sibling thing going on. Ryan was the little brother until Brett was a senior in high school. Brett had reached his full height of 5'8", 125 pounds in middle school. At that point, he was the tallest boy in class. But all too soon, Ryan was the bigger brother, and Brett was simply the older brother. It was then that their relationship changed just a tad. What a storybook childhood these brothers enjoyed. Brett was always a good student and a tremendous athlete. Because he was such a good kid, on his 16th birthday, his parents decided to give him a very special present. Brett had gone to Seattle with some friends, and when he returned, there were tons of balloons all over a very bright Arrest Me red trooper. It was sitting in the driveway. To ensure that Brett would show responsibility and caution in being a car owner, his parents had him write up the contract. It included things like, "I won't speed," I will always wear my seatbelt. I will keep my grades up. Mike and Maya were very proud of Brett's determination to show respect and act in a responsible manner. He didn't take the trooper his first year at Stanford. His little brother Ryan had just turned 16, so he used the trooper. He also crashed the trooper. Brett did take it when he returned to Stanford for his sophomore year. He drove the trooper all over the western United States and used it while working in California. He sold the car back to his dad when he left for Europe. Mike was the first owner and the third owner, and it's still in the family, only now it transports the family dog. Brett was always very athletic. Mike and Maya enjoyed running, and Brett would go along to the different fun runs in the area. Often Brett spent more time visiting with the other runners than he did running. He would wander up and down the pack talking to everyone. During one run, he completely disappeared. He had headed to the back of the pack to check on his mom. "You okay, Mom?" And after he got an affirmative, he ran back to the front of the pack and finished with the men. Running was a passion. As a freshman in high school, he ran the mile in 4:17. He was on the track team, always excelling at the 1 and 2 mile runs. He was light on his feet, a real sight to behold. While at Seaholm High School, he won the state title in cross country in 1987. He was disciplined, competitive, and yet had fun in his track endeavors. It was rare when Brett lost a race. He won almost every race he entered. In 1989, when he entered Stanford University, he continued to compete in track and field and cross country. He competed in the hurdles and ran in the spring and fall, and was so disciplined he continued his training during the summer months. Stanford asked him to compete in the steeplechase.